Good morning, Bulldog fans. I'm Reese Calhoun,
Isaiah Kennard.
I am Briar Haggerty.
and we are joined by.
Kyle Libby.
So, Kyle, just give us a little rundown of Just,
What do you want from me, dude?
What do you do? What do you do?
what do you do?
What do I not do? You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, I went to Heath, obviously, right? I get my kids are in Heath. And I do insurance, real estate, and give back to community when I can. Yeah.
So you played for Ohio State, right?
I did a long time ago. It was I graduated from there in 2009, but yeah, about 20 years ago. 20 years ago was my senior year of football.
So you own a bunch of businesses like
I do.
real estate and all that. How did playing for Ohio State help you with or playing on a team in football help you with?
Yeah, I was gonna say whether it's football or any sport really, because you got to think sports doesn't mean you're going to be a good person or have a good work ethic. I know a lot of people that didn't play sports and they're good people and they're hard workers. But with sports specifically, I think it will help you with, obviously work ethic. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. Fighting through adversity, right? Things don't always go your way. Being down, winning, losing. You learn a lot from all those things. And sports is really good with that. But again, I don't think that you have to play sports to be successful or be a good person. But they are very helpful for learning and working through things. Yeah.
Question.
So what did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, so my mom worked for an insurance company, and my dad was a real estate agent. And I did know that I wanted to work for myself, some way, shape, or form. I would see my dad. He always had two jobs, right? He had rentals, and he did real estate. And I always saw him working, and I enjoyed, the flexibility that I got to see him. My dad probably has the best work-life balance of anybody. He'd work really hard for 3 weeks and take a week off. So he'd play just as hard as he worked. But he'd get more done in those 3 weeks than a lot of people would in the entire month. So I got to see the flexibility of it. My dad was also at all the important things, right? My games, school events. He never missed anything because he had the flexibility to work. I also saw with my mom, though, the consistency, right? She's still the most consistent person I know. She says she's going to do something, she does it. But I saw the consistency of working for a company that is always going to be there, right? When I graduated school, the Depression hit not that long after, or the recession, the Great Recession. And I saw my dad not working because people weren't buying real estate, but I saw my mom going to work every single day because, I learned really early on, in my opinion, no matter what the world's doing, we always have to have banks, healthcare, and insurance. So I knew some way, shape, or form when I got older, I wanted to do something in either banking, insurance, or healthcare. Doesn't matter if times are good or times are bad. Those things we typically always have to have. So that's why, as I got older, I still dabble in real estate. I do love real estate. But the industry that I'm in, my job, is in one of those three categories.
What position did you play in football?
In football, I mean, I could have played any position. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. But no, when I was in high school, it's the school's the same size as it was. So wherever they need you, they play you. My senior year, I played running back. After I got injured, came back. I played some tight end. I played fullback. I was on. I didn't really kick the ball. I wasn't good at that, and I sure as hell my hands are way too small. I can't throw the ball that good. So I was never a quarterback. Never wanted to be. But I really liked defense, and I ended up playing defense. So I played linebacker all through high school, and then when I got to Ohio State, that's the position they had me at until I got hurt.
So with all the businesses, what are some lessons you've learned from owning like Candy Labs?
Yeah, the Candy Lab. So the biggest thing I'd say with anybody in business is, obviously don't be scared to do it. If you do your research, you put together a plan. I always say, plan the work the plan, right? Definitely do your research. Don't jump into something. Big thing with businesses, at the end of last year, almost a year ago now, we shut down the candy store. I think you need to know when to pull the ripcord and get the heck out, right? And if things are good, know when to double down. When it comes to business, you need to know how money works, how other people's money works, what's good debt, what's bad debt, assets and liabilities, right? And I know you've known that. I gave you that book, right? An asset makes you money. A liability takes money from you. So that's something that if you can just understand that when you purchase things, right, it makes it really easy. For me, which I drive a 2011 Chrysler Town and Country, right? For me, my vehicle, I treat it as, to me, it's a liability. I don't make money on my vehicle, right? I don't make any money on my vehicle. So for me, I have to have a vehicle. It's a tool, right? Mm-hmm. For some people, they want to have a $100 hammer. I'm fine with a $5 hammer, right? But if my vehicle made me money, I'd have as many as possible, right? If a chainsaw was going to make me money, I'll buy as many as I can. But if it's not, then it's more of a toy or just something I want, right? So knowing the difference between a want or a need, but really understanding assets and liabilities, and I would say having a mentor, right? Having a mentor is very, very beneficial, right? Why reinvent the wheel? Go find somebody that's already done it and go talk to that person, right? They will help you, right? There's some mistakes you can avoid by talking to people and just learning from them. They'll tell you.
Do you think cold is an illusion?
Think what is an illusion?
Coldness, feeling cold.
Cold? I mean, cold to me, no, I mean, you push through it. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Yeah.
That's for sure, right? You think about it, if you're cold, you can put stuff on. You're hot, man. We could all be sitting here with no clothes on and still be hot, right? So I'd rather definitely be cold than hot. It's just like anything else. And I would say also with business, you're saying cold's an illusion. It's just, I talk to people all the time, why now, right? Someone wants to lose weight. It's like, well, why'd you wait until you were, 300 pounds, 350, 450, 400, like, why now, right? So you always need to be thinking about, what you want to do, right? And yeah, if you're going to go work outside in the cold, just get over it. If you're trying to lose weight, plan on being hungry. Work through it. You know what I mean? There's all these different things. What else you got?
You had the L2K podcast, Onward Upward.
Yes. 3.5 years.
What are some things you can knowledge you can lend to us on our podcast, make it better?
Don't be scared, just like business. Just ask people, right? In business, whether you're in especially if you're in sales, we hear no more than you ever hear yes, right? So I also got, if you listen to one of our podcasts, because it's still out there, with Dan DeLauder, he was with Park National Bank forever. People always came in to the bank asking for money, right? All these different organizations, the schools, United Way, right? And he made a comment that a gentleman that always came in was like, I feel like I'm always in here asking for money. He said, always give me the opportunity to tell you no, right? You're never going to know my answer until you ask me. So if you don't ask somebody, if you don't give them the opportunity to tell you no, you're never going to know if they were going to do it or not, right? So advice for you guys with you trying to get guests, because it's way more fun having guests than doing it by yourself, right? Just go ask people. Give them the opportunity to tell you no, right? 100%. And then I'll always work on your Rolodex, because like right now, anytime you wrap up a podcast, thank you so much, I'm glad you came, right? Once this camera's off, what's the first thing you guys should be asking me? Hey, if there's anybody that would come in that could help us, that should be the question you ask every guest when they're done, right? It's also nice too, because you can always do follow-ups with stuff, right? Who was your last guest was on here?
John's.
Mm-hmm. And what happened last night? He won.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be fun to be like, hey, wanted to recap. How was your night? How was BW3s? Because that's where he held his after party, right? Just so those things. When you saw him, you're going to get a different version of him now. He knows that his job's secure, right? But definitely, when anytime this podcast is over and you guys hit the, hey, stop recording, thank you for coming, always ask your guests, hey, if there's anybody else that you know. Don't think there's people that I think would definitely want to come in here and help you guys out, right? Because I didn't do my podcast by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got for me? What are you thinking?
So
what made you guys want to do a podcast?
I kind of got sucked in.
Okay.
You did not get sucked in. I
No,
was talking about.
Is this better than being in class?
Much
yeah.
much better.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that'd be my first
Yeah.
answer for
I
sure.
was telling you about it. You're like, hey, can I join? I'm like, you for
Absolutely.
real? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was me and Isaiah, and then he joined in the
That's
same
perfect.
the same day.
that's perfect.
Yeah,
the
same
three
day.
amigos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good. You were gonna ask something.
So coming out of high school, is there one thing you would have like done differently?
Coming out of high school, if I'd have done something different. Yeah, I know. We're making noise. Hopefully the mic still works. Let me stand it up. Coming out of high school, I don't know. Back in high school, I mean, I married my high school sweetheart. I wasn't hers, but she was mine. She's older. Got to throw that dig. I would say, not really. I mean, I went to school for real estate. My degree's in real estate. Luckily, Ohio State offered that. I still do that. I love that. I mean, today's day and age, I would say get a mentor, for sure. You're right. I definitely think educating yourself is important. I still educate myself all the time, whether that's through a podcast, reading books. I think if you're gonna go do something, become an expert at it. Right. I'm not saying that's college. I'm not saying whatever that may be. Whatever you want to do for a living, go become an expert at that thing. If I would have done anything different, it would have probably been try to get a mentor or an expert sooner, faster, right? Because my dad was always mine because he was in the industry that I thought I wanted to be in, and so he was there. But his colleagues, right, other people, maybe people that did it bigger and better than him. When he went to his mentor at the time, who was a mentor of mine. Now, and you've heard it if you listen to my podcast, Steve Lehman, Dad went and said what he was going to do in real estate. And Steve said, either Steve or his partner Dave at the time said, you're going to be successful, but you're thinking too small. Right? So my dad definitely instilled that in me that, hey, you're going to be successful, but don't think too small. Right? Think really, really big. Right? Really, really big. That's one thing that I think's helped me. I read Elon Musk's book. Right? Regardless of how you feel about him, his book, Elon Musk talks about, he's always made a 10-year plan, and he tries to get it done in 1 year. He's never accomplished any plan he's ever set out for himself, but he gets more work done in 1 year than most people do, ever, which resonates with me because, like I said about my dad, he'll work really hard for 3 weeks so that he could take a week off and play, right? Elon Musk does the same thing. He just doesn't take the week off to play. But if you build, let's say you had a 1 year goal, right? Whether it was sports, academics, right? At home, personally, a business, a podcast. What if you guys made that 1 year goal and you try to accomplish it in 60 days? You imagine how much work you get done? It's just like anything else. Hey, you got a test next Friday. Imagine if you became an expert at it by Thursday this week. It'd be pretty incredible, right? Most people wait and they take that entire 10 years or 1 year to do it, right? Imagine if you crunched it in 1 month. 1 year. Oh yeah, it speeds things up for you. Okay, so instead of when this is done, you're like, oh, let's get a guest. Why don't you guys try to fill the calendar up for the rest of the year? How easy would that be? That'd be nice, right? Instead of texting me last night, hey, can you come in today? Absolutely, But just think about that, right? Get a list, fill up the rest of the school year. See if you guys can do that. You know how much more easier to be on you?
Much.
Yeah. What else we got? Fire away, baby.
So I know a lot of people look up to you. I know I sure do.
Oh,
who do you look up to?
I said his name earlier, Steve Lehman. I look up to a lot of people. I really, really like people that are extreme. So, I look up to my dad. I look up to my mom, right? My wife, Mallory, she's incredible. She's one of the most consistent. Her and my mother, I think, are the most consistent. They say they're going to do something, they do it, right? Whether it's personal, personal, work, doesn't matter. But as far as like big people that I look up to, you know what I mean? Like people that I've never met maybe, I really like, and I never served in the military, but I really like, guys that are extreme, like Navy SEALs, right? Navy SEALs and the people that are in special forces with the British forces. Because that's just a different breed, They really, they're on a whole nother level. So I've read a lot of books that were guys that, did that for a living. Because they're tough. They're very, very mentally tough. You ask a Navy SEAL if he thinks cold's an illusion, absolutely. I know, his answer's like, it doesn't matter if I'm cold or hot, the job's got to be done, right? So, but what else?
You think Navy is the toughest, like, military branch?
I mean, I don't know. They're all tough in their own way. I mean, you got to be, that's a tough career. That's a tough job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, people in the school system, I don't think they get paid enough for what they do. Even when they become a veteran and they retire, right? When they're discharged, that's just my personal opinion. I wish we could pay them more and take care of them better. They're all tough. I mean, my cousin's in the Navy. He's not a SEAL, but he's in the Navy. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a Green Beret. I couldn't imagine being any of those. But, if you ask who the toughest, I mean, the SEALs teams are the ones that got sent in to take out Osama bin Laden. Nobody else.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know. I'll never answer that because I think they're all tough. Air Force, Army, all of them. But still, I think the SEAL teams are the one that they're looking at to go in there and do big things. Yeah. To me, well, that kind of says it right there.
Question?
I don't got much.
I have one. Do you think because we're going to high school next year.
I know. You guys ready?
Maybe.
Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, us for sure. We don't know about him.
Right. Yeah.
We need a new crew to fill this. Do you think Bowen?
Ooh, you're saying a new crew, like you need some recruits.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say for you guys then, if you're trying to find people to replace you for this, that you're going to pass that torch on. Those are definitely some people that you might want to bring in here to see how they jive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they got to be able to learn too, right? They might be fun ones to interview. If you need somebody to interview.
That's pretty good.
I mean, you have a younger brother, and Bo's like a brother to you, so, I could see that. But he might, I don't know if he's ever listened to one of our podcasts. You listened to quite a few of mine. So you learned a lot about people. I know. But no, I'd say just start recruiting people. Recruit people that are like you, that you think would have an interest in this. Don't just find somebody that wants to get out of class, right? I'm just
that's the reason. That's the reason this exists.
Yeah. No, but it's been good. It's good.
Yeah.
What else we got? What else you thinking? I like the rapid fire.
I had an entire list on my phone. Can't bring that out.
I know. We talked about Candy Lab. We talked about sports.
Yeah, how do you feel,
we talked about business.
about the phone laws? How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah.
Here at school?
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys are distracted enough, so I love the fact that they make you guys put your phones down. Now, again, if something's important, it's just like anything else, guys. When a lot of people go and get on an airplane, right? The people that don't like to fly, the first thing they think is the plane's going to go down, right? And I do talk about this from a book I got called The Fear Bubble by a guy named Ant Middleton, and he's special forces for the British SEALs. I love how he talks about the fear bubble, okay? And this definitely applies for you guys in school. If you have test anxiety, I don't like heights, right? Some people don't like to fly plane, like be on a plane. The fear bubble, in sports, you have the fear bubble, right? A lot of people, when it comes to tackling, like they don't like to get tackled or tackle, right? Brian, I know you play football.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be in the fear bubble. It's okay to have fear in life. Fear is a good thing. But you're not allowed to be in that bubble of fear for a long time, right? So let's say I have test anxiety. Let's say I don't like taking tests. Oh my God, I sweat. It gives, I start breathing heavy. It's just like heights. I do not like heights at all. Could you imagine if I had to jump out of an airplane? Ah, my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. So I would have fear. It's okay to have fear. But let's just take it with school, right? You got a test on Friday. Why are you nervous today? Why do you have fear today? Why do you have fear at home on Thursday when you're studying? If you want to get something to drink, go get a drink. If you want something to eat, go get something to eat, right? You can listen to your music you want. You can listen to, you can look at stuff. You can do whatever. Even the day of the test, right? You're on the bus. You're riding with your parents. Doesn't matter. Why do you have fear? No need for fear, right? Even when you get into the classroom that morning, I don't need any fear. The time you're allowed to have the fear is the minute the test is put in front of you, right? And you're not allowed to be in the bubble the whole test, right? Answer one question, get out of the bubble. Okay, got that done. Next question. So for me, let's say it was heights, right? Let's say they're hooking me up to a parachute. No fear, I'm on the ground. What am I scared of? I'm on a plane. I'm up in the air. Why am I scared? No reason to be scared. The minute they open that door and I'm on the edge and they say you're jumping in 3, 2, now I'm allowed to get in the fear bubble. Same thing with sports. Well, you're running down the hill, man. Next year, you're going to be a freshman. What are you scared of? Nothing. What are you scared during warm-ups? You can get a water break if you want. You can walk over here. You can tie your shoe. You can do whatever, right? Even when you're getting talked to by Coach Ward, all this. The time you're allowed to have fear is the minute you're on there and they're getting ready to call a hike. And you're allowed to be in that fear bubble for that 6 seconds of a football play. Then you got to get back out. So, I know you asked me about a phone, right? I like the fact that you guys put the phone down and actually connect like this. Do you know how many kids your age are actually trying to have relationships where we talk, right? It's okay to have awkward questions or awkward silence. That's normal, right? It's normal. That's real world. This is real world where so much of your phone is not. It's getting even worse, right? With AI, there's stuff you don't know if it's real or not. So I love that you guys are having those interactions with each other and having interactions with the podcasts and having just normal, conversations with people. The phone doesn't allow that at times, right? You can't take a girl out on a date here in a couple years, guys, on your phone. Okay? She won't like you.
Isaiah, you got any comments on that?
Bro, you got any comments on that? Y'all
Yeah.
have the exact same.
Turn on the fire.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's good with the phone. And I think, what do you think you're going to miss by having your phone? You have fear, and that's what made me think of it. That something's going to happen, right? That you're going to miss something. Don't worry. You're not that important. You're not that special. I say that to my kids all the time. You guys, you're in the grand scheme of things, right? I know who you guys are. You know who I am, but there's a handful. We're just a speck, right? So let's just be good people.
8.1 billion.
That's what I'm saying, man. You're not that special,
Yeah.
right? Neither am I. Neither am I. But you put your phones down, having actual relationships, having actual conversations with friends, people, doing this, getting out of your comfort zone, right? It would have been harder for you to ask your guests face to face than it is the text, right? It's easy to be mean on a text. What about face to face? Right? We used to, when I was in school, the phones weren't like this. It wasn't this easy. But we always called, guys, telephone tough guys, things like that. Because when you get face to face, it's so much harder to be mean or to be kind or know what to say. Yeah. So I'm okay with your phone rule. It's good for you guys to have 6 hours of no phone. It'll be all right. I heard something today on a meeting I had this morning. They said the average person in the United States spends 2.5 hours on social media a day.
Wow. I'm
So if
making
I was-
50 of that.
Yeah, so if I was going to be a business, I'd be finding a way to get on social media. Figure that
I
stuff
spend
out,
a
guys.
lot more than 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
same.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. Think of what you could be doing.
Yeah.
Mine's
More
more
like
like 6.5.
Yeah.
What?
You have a question prepared?
What are you thinking?
Oh, okay. I sent a list to the group chat last night.
Good.
Because do we already read off all those?
I haven't even taken a look at a single one.
And you're doing great.
The only
Something
one.
I always do is I just let it accumulate in the moment. I just let it
100%.
work up in the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you think about.
Who can you thank for your success?
I can think of a lot of people, right? I mean, if you go back to, I learned a lot from teachers when I was in school. My mother-in-law at the time, she was the guidance counselor when I was in high school. Obviously, like I said, my wife, my parents, a lot of coaches I had, right? A lot of coaches. I do catch myself when I was at Ohio State. Coach Fickle was there. He's the head coach at Wisconsin now. He said a lot of kind of one-liners that I think of. You can sleep when you're dead. You can walk. Especially with sports, you can sleep when you're dead, right? You can walk when you're dead because we used to run everywhere during practice. We always had to run. There's no walking. And his, I got to see his work ethic. I felt like the guy lived there because he was just constantly there, always worked hard. So I get to see work ethic from him. My business partner, Luke, it was with the candy store and stuff. I mean, I've learned so much from him. I'm constantly learning. And that's something I would say with you guys no matter what, right? Whether a kid goes to college or doesn't go to college, if you are always trying to better yourself and you're always working on something, right? Steve Lehman says it, one of his mentors always wanted to have a problem and a puzzle. Well, Steve said, I don't like problems. So he always wants to have a project and a puzzle because it keeps you busy, right? If you always got something going on that you're working on, that you're thinking, that you're trying to do, right? You don't get complacent and you don't get stale, right? And you learn things from other people. So that's something what I would say as far as who's helped me with success. A lot of people. It's hard to just narrow it down. I might give you a handful of people just now. So, what else we thinking? We still got time, don't we? Or are we running out on time?
Well, that bell was the end of the period.
Ah!
I don't care if we go
Now
over.
we gotta run it up.
I mean, I have lunch next period. So.
Oh, you're good.
I pre-engineering. We're already basically done with our project.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
don't know.
So when you guys do this now, so who's doing all the editing? Who's doing all the
It's normally
goodness?
him, but I was gonna edit one video, but then I got mad because like my editing stuff wasn't working.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I might try and go back at it this one.
Yeah, I'll send it
Because
to
my
you.
dad edits. My dad used to do YouTube and he edited a lot.
Yeah.
And he made me sit and watch him. And
Yeah.
I know a lot about
That's
it.
good. That's good. And it's awesome that the school lets you guys do this.
Yeah,
It really is.
really cool.
So the fact, like you texted me last night, the fact that you're able to email, your school. I mean, you emailed the principal, right?
Yeah.
And she got right back to you. That's incredible, man. Not a lot of people do that. You imagine being in a big school. We're very lucky that we live here in Heath.
Yeah.
You imagine being in a big school, how different that would be. You're just a number.
Yeah, and that makes me think a lot because like I've always thought like I want to go to a big school.
You went to Lakewood.
Lakewood, but they're not super big. They're like
No.
us.
Oh.
But like that always makes me think like I want to go to a big school. I want to go to a big school for chances at colleges and chances for
Mhm.
baseball. But like deep down when you think about it, like when you go to them big schools, you're just one of many.
That's right. You're not special.
Yeah,
You're just
you're
a number.
You're one of many, and like that because like who knows? Like that scout could come there for you, and their interest is immediately off of you when they see somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And like now that I think about it, like it's probably better to be here more than one of
Yeah.
them big schools.
Yeah. Well, and the opportunity's going to come. I mean, Coach Klontz always said it. If you're good, they'll find you.
Yeah.
If you're talking specific sports, you know what I mean? Just like anything else. I mean, if you're really, really smart and you want to go to Harvard, you'll go to Harvard. I mean, if you're good at what you do, they'll find you. Doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you come from. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, one of the most successful, one of my favorite books is called Am I Being Too Subtle? Right? And he was, his parents fled Poland on the last train before Nazi Germany bombed the train tracks. They came over here with nothing. And he was a billionaire when he passed away a couple years ago. His name's Sam Zell. He owned the Chicago Cubs at one time. And that was just because he bought the Tribune, the Chicago newspaper. Came with the Cubs. Oh, yeah. Talk about an incredible story.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you come from. It's about how hard you guys work.
Yeah.
You put the work in. That's the other thing I'd say. Successful people, and anything smart you guys ever hear me say, I heard from somebody else. All right? I'm not that smart. But I would definitely say one of the biggest things, and I say this to my kids all the time too, two things, and we can wrap it up on this if you want. Everybody's tired. I never want that to be an excuse for you guys. Successful people know how to work when they're tired. Everybody's tired. I don't care what you do for a living, you're going to be tired. Right? I promise you. You're going to be tired. Okay? So working through that tired, whether it's sports, whether it's school, right? You got to study and you're tired. You got to go to this practice and you're tired. You got to edit this video because you got to get on a timely fashion for your viewers and you're tired. Everybody's tired. Successful people know how to work when they're tired. Okay? No doubt about it. Next thing I would say too is you cannot be grateful and be a victim at the same time. Always be grateful. Okay? Right? Brian, I'm gonna take you 10 months from now. You get to play some special teams as a freshman. Right? I had this conversation with a senior, Carter Mason, that just graduated, right? He broke his collarbone 2 years ago. And I said, don't be a victim, right? You were be grateful that you're on the field, that the coach said, I'm going to play you. I'm going to start you. Be grateful that you were in position to make the tackle. And you made the tackle. You just happened to break your collarbone.
Yeah.
Now, you need to become a good teammate. You need to learn the plays, right? You need to work out, come back stronger, better, right? You cannot be grateful and be a victim at the same time. Okay? So if you go into any situation being grateful, don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. And it's very easy. We are wired to look for negative stuff. But if you guys can always be grateful, no matter what, right? That will always help you in life, big time. Because you can't be a victim if you're grateful for something. Okay?
A great words to end the podcast was.
There we
Thank
go.
you very much for joining.
Oh, it was great. Hey, good seeing you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, meet and nice you. Good to see you.
Need to nice you.
That's right. Thank you for having me.